Hey my friends, it's Sean Goyak, the WarHorse. I want to go into a topic today that is probably a little uncomfortable for many of us, but it's reality. And that's about our assumptions. And what brings us to mind this morning is news this morning played a YouTube video of the announcement at Carrier yesterday in Ohio where they laid off 1,400 people. So everybody's gathered together, there's this big announcement come from management. Oh, what's that mean? So can you imagine going to the meeting and wondering, yeah, what's going on? Maybe they're going to cut my wages, maybe they want to do this sort of stuff. And they say, no, we're moving to Monterrey, Mexico, dudes. Game's over, we're out. And those people are sitting there going, well, their reaction was, as you might expect, a lot of bleeps when they played it on the news. Because these people put their life, soul, everything, and their belief system in this company being their future, this company carrying them. And so, not carrying them, they're working for them, there's an exchange, and that's a good thing. But the point is, things are changing. That's why WarHorse Results is so important, is that nothing's the same, nothing's as it was. My father worked for Capitol Records for 34 years. I don't think I know anybody who's worked for a company for 34 years anymore, who's under, under the age of 50, 60, take your pick. That's old school stuff, and the world has just changed. Everything's collapsed, everything's gotten faster, and that's just reality. So the assumptions we make when we go into the office every day or go and get online every day or whatever we do for our mission, our job, we have to consider, am I ready? What if something happens? And I'm not saying be all fearful and things like that, but reality is reality. If you know there's a storm out there, do you sail out into it? Well, actually you do if you're one of the cruise lines that just got totally screwed up. But bad idea, right? So the assumptions you make, take a look at your assumptions about where you are, how secure you are, what your security assumptions really are. It's really important. I was talking to a guy and he said, I'm going to hang out here at this corporation for another 3 years and then I'm going to make my break and I'm going to go be do an end run and I'm going to be a superstar, score a touchdown. And I said, well, that's really interesting. So you're going to run in place for 3 years and then expect to be able to break the world's record, in the 100-yard dash or something, right? That sounds kind of weird. Then I said, Dan, what if you get fired tomorrow? Are you prepared? So I don't mean be living in fear of being fired. But that's an impetus to say, okay, how have I set up my tool set? How armored up am I to be able to deal with what may be coming down the pike? And assume my company goes away. Assume all this stuff changes. How would I respond? Do I go down in flames? Do I jump off the top of a building? Do I say, fuck it, I'm out? Do I get a divorce, start drinking, doing drugs? I mean, all those things happen, by the way, guys. Take a look at the 2008 crash. Look at 1929. I mean, it's happened. So people assumed the good times were going to roll. And when the good times weren't rolling, their assumptions were totally undermined. And what happened? Game over. They had no ability, no capacity to respond, okay? So they not only dropped down to a level of scarcity, but to a level of survival, and worse, to a level of absolute despair. You don't want to be there. Where you want to be is powered up. So every day is an opportunity to take a look around and say, what are my strengths? What are my key strengths and how do I build those? And how do I mitigate my weaknesses? And where I want to be? If things change, how do I maintain and grow? Because if you don't do that, there's only one other curve that I know in the world. Flatlining is dead, and this is game over. So I would really ask you to really consider as you go through the next week, or maybe go through your planning session or meditation session tomorrow, Sunday. Take a look at it and say, okay, take an inventory of what you really are good at, what's really important to you, why you think people value you, why you think people are seeking you out or really want you in the game, and then test it through the week. Write it down. Test it through the week, and then at the end of the week, sit down, take an hour, glass of wine, whatever you do, green smoothie, whatever it is, and sit down and say, okay, here's what I said, and here's my feedback. There are some mismatches or disconnects. And be honest. Be honest. Not everybody loves you. Shit, half the people I know, more than half the people I know hate me. And that's okay. That's part of what you do. When you're sitting there mixing it up and you create a dynamic tension, you're not going to be loved. You're going to be wanted. But I don't work with my clients to have them like me or be their friends. That's the last thing on earth I want to do. I want to be able to hold up a mirror to reality and say, look, here's where we need to go. Here's what we need to work on. And here's what we want to go do. So that's what WarHorse Results is all about. And that's why I'm rolling out the course, or the session, the event, I'm calling it now, next week. That's really going to define, it's going to walk through 8 specific topics that really help dial in, focus in on you, where you are, how you view the world, how you can address and arm yourself armor up for the changes that are coming, and be resilient. Because if you're not resilient, you're dead. That's the way it is. People sitting there, they move out to Las Vegas, right? And I lived in Las Vegas for 10 years, so shame on me, right? No, it was a great experience, things like that. But when you watch like me going like this, and you say, man, there's more people, there's more lawns, there's more pools, there's more this, and there's less water, and there's... Dude, is there any... Do you get it? But you can live on hope and hopium, and then when it happens, and the taps water no longer comes out of the taps, what do? Are you prepared? So WarHorse Results is really about, what the whole central concept is about, is I've been doing this stuff for 34 years. I've been through up markets, down markets, I've coached companies, I've coached teams, I've helped companies restructure themselves, rebrand themselves, do amazing things. I've changed acquisitions. We've literally changed designs and solutions for companies, and it's all because of the way we interface with people, because we go and challenge the assumptions and help them build, through a synergy, help them build the solution that is compelling, no matter what it is. Whether it's, man, we do this really crappy and the government doesn't like it, or my customer doesn't like it, so we need a new set of processes because our people don't get it, or this takes too friggin' long, or whatever it is, or this isn't good enough, we need to go to the next level, or where do I spend my next dollar of discretionary money? That's how WarHorse has engaged over the past 34 years. So, wherever you are in your career, in your company, what if you could leverage 34 years of compressed time, compressed learning, compressed experience, and lay it bombs on target right now in a very focused, very centered, very intense activity, a couple days, whatever, to be able to understand the game, understand what needs to be changed, and walk out and know exactly what you have to do, exactly what the high payoff items are, because they're driven by a target, by a must outcome you must have to accomplish your goals. How often do you get that opportunity? Because if you're sitting there and you're internal to an organization, and you sit there and you interview each other, where do you get the vision? Where do you get the tension? Where do you get the person saying, yeah, have you thought about this? That's why WarHorse Results is so important. It's not just about another consultant talking about, oh, blah, 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 I did this, I did that. That's all bullshit. What it is about is, we've done this stuff before. I've seen the patterns, guys. Over $300 billion worth of business. I've seen many, many patterns. I won't say everything you haven't. And I've screwed up a lot. But that's important too, because if you haven't screwed up a lot, you don't know. Look at all the realtors in Las Vegas who, when the market was up, have they ever failed? No, man, life's good. Market goes down, oh shit, what do I do? And they're flipping burgers. You don't want to be that person. So WarHorse Results is about, A, working with a team of guys, elite set of folks through this course we're putting out, and you get more on that in the coming days, that we're going to work through with some very people who are just don't want to amp up their game. They are committed, they are in, and they really want to take this seriously and move their career, their needle, their game, their company, or their future. All of those. That's what it's about. In addition to that, there's an interdictive part of this that says, look, why not access that? So if you've got an issue, or if your company has an issue, and you want some intervention, or you need someone to come and say, is this strategy right or wrong? We're doing that right now for several companies, and most of them have changed radically where they were headed. And they've got their mind about what it's really going to take. Because if you just interview yourself, you never get a sense of realism. You never see the real world. It doesn't happen. It just doesn't happen. So that's about it for today. Just don't be a carrier employee. A good company, good product, no paycheck. Now what do you do? And that's going to be happening more and more as this economy gets lumpier and bumpier, guys. And so, how do you make yourself more valuable? How do you know what your value set is? How do you know what your tool set is? How do you know where you got gaps that you got to work on? Okay, to be able to place yourself in the moving market space and discriminate yourself from all the other guys who are out there. So if you just want to go along with the ride, assume things are going to go on forever and life's good, that's fine. But all these people watch Noah building this ark, man, and they're going, what an idiot, blah, 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 blah. I think those people drown. Lessons are out there, lessons are everywhere. Anyway, God bless you all. You have a great weekend, and we'll talk more in more detail about this in the coming days. And I really want to get you all on board for WarHorse, because it's really an important concept and it really can help you. And it is targeted, specific results that get you to armor up for the new game. God bless. Have a great weekend.